I recently finished a couple books and started up a few books. Just finished. I know they say not to judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you gotta judge a book by its cover. This is not usually a genre of horror that I like. Like, I'm pretty sure this is horror because it is brutal. It is brutal. That's just not normally the genre I would pick up, but this cover just continuously drew me in. I found myself like staring at this one multiple trips to the bookstore. Slewfoot by Brom. So this is Brom's art. Whilst I was reading this, I took the cover off to protect the cover. Covers are to protect the book, but I had to protect the cover. This was beautiful. Beautiful and brutal. But the ending was brutal. I'm gonna try my best not to give you any spoilers. It's brutal, but the most satisfying ending this book could have ended to lay my soul to rest. You know, if a book ends right, it almost doesn't matter how brutal it is, because you can recover emotionally. This was a very satisfying read. Would recommend. Would definitely recommend. The other book I read or finished up was A New Science of Heaven by Robert Temple. This book talks a lot about research throughout the years done on plasma and like plasma sentience and stuff like that, and just a lot of things that a lot of research and a lot of theories and stuff that I'm really interested in. I actually listened to this on Audible, but I have the physical copy because I actually am gonna go through and read it again. Like, sit down, reading wise. I just want to absorb all I can absorb from it, and I think that will really help. It was pretty dense when it talked about some of the sciences, so that's another reason why I'm going back through and like reading it. So I'm glad I listened to it first, because I feel like I could have gotten lost a little bit if I was reading. And then the books, starting or have started some of them. I started My Big Toe. I, of course, don't have very many thoughts on the ones I've started because I haven't finished them, so I'm just showing you the ones I started to show you. My Big Toe by Thomas Campbell. It's actually a trilogy, so it's like 3 books. And then, oh man, I'm running out of space. Started Spellbound, Modern Science, Ancient Magic, and the Hidden Potential of the Unconscious Mind. I literally just started this one today, and I think I'm really, really gonna like this one. I think I would already recommend this one, but I literally just started it today, so. But I think I'm really gonna like this one. And the last one that I have not started yet, but I think I want to add to the list. I really like to read multiple books at a time. Is that a crumb? No, it's not. It isn't. So I'm going to be reading UFOs. Generals, pilots, and government officials go on the record by Leslie Kean. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. haven't started this one at all, but I keep up to date on the UFO, UAP, alien documentary biz, and this journalist. Yeah, this journalist has been involved with at least a couple of them I've seen, so I'm interested. I'm excited to read this. I have a feeling a lot of the stories that are gonna be in here I've already read about or watched something about at some capacity, but I'm hoping that there'll be stories and things that I haven't heard yet or seen yet, you know. I'm excited though. We didn't do any book tapping without the cover on Snoop. We need some quality book tapping to wrap this up. Brahms art. Brahms vibes drew me in, and they kept me till the very last word of the book. If you just finished any books or just started any books, please leave them in the comments. I would love to know. And I'm sure there's other peeps who would also love to know what everyone's reading and enjoying. Just your thoughts. I think I want to start a Goodreads. Has anyone, have you started? Do you know much about Goodreads? Do you have one? Would you recommend? It sounds ideal, especially to the rate I'm reading books recently. Also, if you're watching this and you're like, dang, I wish I read books or whatever, you should just start trying to read books. I'm super dyslexic, so I kind of use that as my excuse for a bit to not read much. But then I started reading, and practice really does make perfect. I'm not saying you'll read to a level that mayhaps a non-dyslexic person would read. Maybe you're not even dyslexic. But if you are, or maybe you're not and you just don't read much and you're like, I'm a slow reader, for just a few books in, I significantly noticed a difference. Like, even just like reading one book start to finish, I noticed a significant difference in my reading and my reading comprehension and speed and all that. So don't be discouraged if you're not a reader yet, because if you'd like to be a reader, there are a lot of magical, whimsical books out there, or a lot of books about things you're like really interested in. So yeah.